G'day guys, I'm Dan from Certified Energy Solutions, and today we're doing a secondary video following on from our first video of this installation, which is more of a showcase. This video, however, is going to include what you need to keep in mind for your own personal house or business if you're looking to integrate a solar hybrid solution with battery storage. So some really good kind of talking points along the process in this video. We also have a look at the features of the system and how it's been integrated to the customer's property. So anyway, we hope you find this video informative, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. So here we are, we're just back out at John's house. We've just come back to complete the installation for him for his brand new Red Earth BushChook hybrid solution. Now, as we can see over here, nice little neat BushChook installed on the property. So this is obviously housing his 5 tropos and his 8 kilowatt inverter internally. Then we've also got a bollard placed in front of it because it shares a driveway access point from the entrance over there. As we can see, this is part of the compliance to ensure that the customer doesn't accidentally drive into his battery system. So that's actually part of the code. Unfortunately, non-optional. If you are putting it in a garage or a carport space, that's something that needs to go in for us to be able to sign off on the installation. Now, if we go around the side here, we'll see this particular system comes with a really nice clear indication on how to operate it. We can see we've got a shutdown procedure. Everything's labelled as 1, 2 and 3. And then it's actually lining up with all the appropriate sections referring to that shutdown and re-energisation process. Everything's nice and easily accessible up through here. We've got all our AC breakers running through the right-hand side there. I'll just get you to zoom in. Right across, and we also have a bypass switch over here as well. Say, for example, in the event if there is a failure with the inverter and the whole entire property is running through that inverter to deliver power, that might cause an issue with your essential loads. The bypass's job is essentially allowing a 3-position changeover switch so you can toggle back to main supply or bypass entirely with a backup generator. So you've always got a contingency plan in place. Every hybrid solution should have a changeover switch for that kind of event. Now, going down here, we've got our DC isolators. This is for our independent strings running through the system itself. So these are obviously paralleled up with the MPPT inputs with it, which is our solar trackers and our solar inputs on the DC side of things. So they're all circuit breaker protected to make sure that the system's always going to operate in a safe condition. Then we have the big battery isolator down the bottom here as well, which allows you to completely shut off power. Because if you go to the main switchboard on the property and then you want to shut down power to the house and you turn off all your AC breakers, you've got to keep in mind this is going to keep your house powered up for those dedicated loads. So you need a way to be able to isolate and shut down this energy source and also the grid side. Now obviously there's a bit of a distance here between the main switchboard over at the building and also the house. So this is one of the differences. Luckily we've got a house here where they've actually put the appropriate size cable in at the start. So they've got 16mm main supply running from the switchboard to the house. The guys have also done a load profile to make sure that the system with its 8,000 watt inverter will be able to back up the whole house in its entirety during a blackout scenario. Now, if the customer had undersized underground cable work, or if the electrical load exceeds what the inverter capability is, we would literally have to dig another trench, 600mm, with a dedicated emergency backup power run. So if your house isn't really, as suitable as this house is for an integration, there may be additional costs in running that infrastructure to make sure the system works correctly. We'll head on over to the subboard where Anthony's doing some modifications to bring it up to current code. Yeah guys, so now we're having a look at John's internal distribution board inside of his house. So this has just gone through a major upgrade. We've got rid of the old internal one that was in here when the house was constructed that had the ceramic fuses. So they don't meet current compliance or code. So that required a complete upgrade to make the system certifiable. Certified Energy Solutions way. What we're looking at in here is complete RCBO safety switch protected. So on top of making the house safer for the customer, we've also integrated a hot water timer, as we can see over here on the right hand side where I'm pointing, right there. And what this little device here allows us to do is ensure that the hot water system, the electric hot water system that draws 3.6 kilowatts or 3,600 watts, will only ever be able to run off surplus solar through the course of the day, and it doesn't consume the battery capacity at night time. So it's not considered essential. But if John finds that he's ran out of hot water system and he's on battery system on backup because the grid's gone, he has the choice where he can actually tell it to actually start drawing from the battery system as well. Gives you a nice level of control, and we can also get rid of the controlled load or the tariff 33 in that scenario, making the meter services charges cheaper for the property. So that's basically the upgrade. Brand new distribution board, complete rewire, safety switch and hot water timer. So we'll go over to the main switchboard now. And here we are. So this main switchboard that we're looking at here has had the appropriate upgrades, bar the meter upgrades, because that comes as a secondary process once the EWR is submitted for the client. Now, what we're looking at down through here, as we'll see, we've got a smart meter installed at the main switchboard for it to communicate with the electrical loads. And then we've also got, obviously, all RCBO protected main switches. So if you've got a board or a main switchboard that has the old ceramic style fuses, they're not going to be compliant, so we will have to upgrade that. So that's going to be on a per job kind of assessment. Now, other requirements to make sure your system is ready for a solar or a battery addition, be it Energex or Ergon, would be it needs a clear neutral meter link. And we can see that here by this fuse. If we just zoom in on that one. There you go. So straight away, if you're trying to work out if you've got a single phase, a two phase or a three phase home, if you've got those neutral meter links installed, which should be in there if the house is fairly current or new, you'll be able to tell how many fuses you've got based on how many clear links you've got, or the fuses themselves. So obviously single phase will be one, you'll have dual phase, which is pretty uncommon. We do come across that from time to time. Be two of these links, and then three phase will obviously have three. That's an easy way to work it out without even looking at your switches down the bottom here, your RCBOs or your mains breaker, to see if you got three phase. But another way to do a quick little check there would be to have a look at your main supply. As we can see here labelled main switch grid supply. And this one indicates it's a single phase because it's a single pole switch. So if you've got two phase or three phase, it'll be a two pole or a three pole switch. Really easy ways to work out what type of power supply you've got in the home. Anyway, the next process for the customer is we submit the EWR. Now we've completed the install and it meets all the requirements, and we'll actually put a request in for these meters to be upgraded to the new digital meter. Then the system can be energized and turned on. You can start seeing those savings. Anyway, we hope you found this video nice and handy. Gives you an inside look into the process, what we do, how systems integrate for a Grid Connect home. And if you're looking for a solution, feel free to reach out. Cheers.